Hello and welcome back on my YouTube channel, Parth Doshi Learning by Doing. So now I think I'm saying this line after a very long time. It's been 5 months I uploaded my last video that was on working with data tables in UiPath forms, but I'm going to make sure this year I upload videos with more consistency. In the previous year, I had uploaded probably very least videos, maybe 15, 20 videos, but yeah, this year you will see more videos on one of the product that I became an MVP for the third time, that is UiPath Apps. So I wanted to thank each and everyone who is or who is not the subscriber of my YouTube channel, who has supported me in all the events that I do, all the knowledge that I share. It wouldn't have been possible without you guys. So yeah, it was a great opportunity to receive the award from Daniel Dens, the UiPath CEO himself. So yeah, it was a very proud moment for me. Now, coming back to the videos that I'm going to upload this year, you will also see more collaborative videos as well. There will be more videos on the non-technical side of RP and AI as well. It's not that we are just going to focus on the technical videos. So yeah, today's video is going to be on one of the most awesome feature that has already been announced this year of UiPath apps, that is integration of UiPath apps for Action Center on cloud. It is currently in preview release, as you can see this forum post as well, but we are going to explore it, what this feature is, what advantages does this feature have, and what are the things we can do with this particular integration. So we are going to deep dive in this complete release that has been announced, and it is going to be a little long video. I believe probably 25 to 30 minutes, but yeah, it will be interesting. We are going to deep dive into each and every concepts granular on a granular level and see how is that integration possible, what we can do with that, and many other things. All right, so let's get started. Also, before we go ahead, this video is for someone who has already worked on UiPath apps and UiPath Action Center and has a little bit idea about what the product is, because you will need that fundamental knowledge to build what we are going to build right now. So you see, as I've already opened multiple tabs, so you guys also have to do the same. You have to open UiPath Orchestrator, UiPath Studio Web, UiPath Apps, and UiPath Actions. So these are the four tabs that you might have to open. I have already opened that. Now when I go over here, and let me just open one of these documentation. So now what difference is this particular release bringing in, or this particular feature is bringing in? So just to highlight what this release is bringing in, if you have worked on Action Center, you have an idea that we are going to build the form, right? So what we basically do is we build a form in UiPath Action Center. So if I go to my UiPath Action Center, and if I will open this, this is 2 years ago. All right, so this is something that, we build in UiPath Action Center. So if you see here, I have all the forms and all the data that I've extracted from the invoice, and the user can submit or make any changes and do that. Now, this is going to change. And what is coming now is you can now integrate UiPath apps within that. So if you see now that I have created an UiPath app, but instead of while creating a form task and creating the form, I have directly integrated the app over here. So if you see, this is what is employee reimbursement system, and this same application we are going to build right in this video as well. So I've provided all the details. I've uploaded the document, the employee details, expense details, what the employee is trying to claim, and then the HR or the admin team or the finance team can take an action that approve or reject this. And on approving or rejecting, our process will resume again. So all the things of human validation and the concept remains the same. But the thing that is changing is instead of forms, you can now use apps. Now, what difference is that going to make? The difference it is going to make is that, say, with apps, as you all know, we can easily integrate with data service, with orchestrator queues and storage buckets. We can easily integrate with the integration service that we have. So there are so many applications that you can integrate with. So let's suppose on this click of approve button, I have to, create some record in my Expensify application, something like that, or maybe send an email or anything as such. This is going to make it more easy, right? And the bot that we are going to build, it is not going to be in UiPath Studio, but it is going to be in UiPath Studio App. So it's going to be everything cloud. That is the reason if you see the current release, which is that this is for apps for Action Center on cloud. So these are the advantages this particular integration is going to have. All right. So this is some random Uber receipt downloaded from the website. Okay. So now what is the first thing that you have to do when you want to, create this particular action app? Let's use this word throughout the video, that is called as an action app, because I just don't want to say again and again apps and action center, apps and action center. So we will use that an action as an action app. So if you see in the documentation as well of UiPath, it is publish an action app. So let's do that. So the very first thing that we have to do is we have to create a schema, a JSON schema for our action app. How we are going to do that? Let's see that. So you need to open your UiPath Action Center. Just right click over here, UiPath Action Center. You need to go to your admin settings. After admin settings, you need to navigate to tenant. As you can see, I've clicked on tenant, and then you will see two tabs over here. Action definitions, that is the action schema that we are going to create, and the action app. Once you have built and published the action app, if you see, this is 21 hours ago. I was working on the app just for this video, right? And then build a new desk. This is something that is available as a demo on UiPath's Insider website. So if you want to download from there, you can take it. And then there is this action scheme. When you click on this, you have three options over here. Learn more about action definition, download action definition sample, import from file. So download, I have already done that, and this is the sample that you will get. Okay, so this is the complete action JSON schema. You just need to use the template, right? No need to, learn about how to write this schema. If you want it, and if you are a JSON expert, you can definitely do that. But that is not a need in this, right? To learn about this. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create the action schema for our employee reimbursement app. So let me just show you guys the app. Let's see the app. How does it look? What we are going to do, and deep dive into it. All right. This is fine because this is an app that is being created for Action Center. All right. So this is the employee reimbursement system. So what process we are building? Let me explain you that. What we are doing is, employee will send an email. Let me just show the email. This is going to be an email that an employee is sending to the HR department, right? So if you see, hi team, please find my expense report attached. First name, last name, email ID, expense type, expense amount, and description. This is what a user is going to send, and there has to be an attachment along with that. Now, once the user sends this email, the UiPath Studio Web process that I'm going to create is going to be a trigger based automation. So in that, once an email is received, the automation will trigger itself. So what we are doing is, as soon as the email is received, we are going to fetch all that emails, take that particular attachment, upload it to storage bucket, because in UiPath apps, to display the document, you need to fetch the documents either from an URL or a storage bucket. So we are going to fetch that document from the storage bucket. And here we are going to fill in all the details: first name, last name, employee, type, amount, description that we have received in this particular email. Upon that, once that data is processed, once we have gathered all the data, uploaded it to storage buckets, we are going to create an app task for the HR team, right? So anyone from the team who has the access to Action Center can open that and either click on approve or reject. On clicking approve or reject, we are going to send an email to the person whose email ID is mentioned over here, right over here, that your reimbursement claim has been approved or rejected. For now, we are going to keep it simple, because right now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to explain the concept which is there. All right. So yeah, this is the app that we are going to build. Okay. So now this will lead me to building my action JSON schema that I want to create. So I will add all the details from here into my JSON schema. So if you see over here, let me zoom it a bit. Here I have to give two allowed actions, approve and reject. That is obviously going to be the same. Name is reimbursement system. That's it. You can modify it in your way. So if you see, properties are first name, last name, email, expense type, expense amount, description, and the file name. Right. This is something that I'm working on for the next part of this demo. But for now, we are not going to use that. And the file name. These descriptions I had to change, but since I used the default template, I did not change it. Address designation, we have to change that. All right, file name is because we will need that over here. And now, once you do that, you can write in the required details over here. So my first name, last name, expense amount, and description is something that is required. All right, so this is how you create your JSON schema, and this is pretty straightforward. You just go to your add action JSON schema, click on this, download the sample, modify it, and then click on import from file. You have to click on this, select this, and click on create. You can give whatever name you want to. All right, and you have to click on create. Once you do that, it will be available over here. So if you see, I've created 4 days ago, but I modified it 2 days ago. So reimbursement system is what is your first step in creating the action app. All right. Now let's go to what the second step is. The second step is creating an app. So if I go back to my UiPath apps, what you have to do is click on create new app, give it a name over here, like I have given expense approval. You need to make sure that it is selected as VB only, and you need to click the create button. Now, once you do that, your app will be created. And if you see, this is an action app. This app cannot be run as a standalone app, and users can access it through Action Center only. So that is something I like, a good part from UiPath product, in that we are able to identify the difference between action app and a normal app, so that the user who has access as well will have an idea about it. Once you create the app, you need to click on this down arrow, and for a single app, you can add one action only. So I have already added over here. So once you click this, you select action, you will be able to select that action you have uploaded over here from your tenant. So you just click on that and select. Let me see if I can open another app and show an example. And here also I have one already. Let me delete this. This is since just another demo. Click on action. All right. Click on continue. Onboarding app. Click on add. All right, so I have done this, but since I removed it and it will require the mapping again, it has the issues. All right, so this is how you basically add your action. Right, now let's go back to our app, expense up. Okay. So once you have created the action, the second thing that we will need is a storage bucket. So first, let's create a storage bucket. You can select any folder you want. I have created in my workspace only, and I have created a storage bucket. So add new storage bucket, create, and add it over here. Here you will see that we have the expense file created, and here is where I'm going to upload the files. So there are some files already uploaded over here. So this is the second step that you have to do. Now you have to link that again over here. So if you click on the storage buckets, you will be able to select it. So mine is this, and then expense files, and then you need to click on add. So this is the I believe second or third step that you have to do, right? So first we created the action JSON schema. We uploaded it on the Action Center. Second is we created an app. We added that action schema over here. And the third is we added the storage bucket. Once you do this, you can create the app however you want to. Just to highlight, this is a document viewer control that I've used. So if you go to display, you will have this particular feature. And what does this need? Is the source from storage bucket, and it will take the file automatically, or you can give the URL as well. All right, so once you have done this, right, you create your app. Now how are you going to bind the JSON schema values with your app? So the syntax is very simple. Like, I can literally say it is very simple. What you have to do is, wherever you want to display the data, that is going to come from your JSON schema. So the first name, last name, as you can see, the action as well that I showed is where I'm displaying my data. So what you have to do is, you have to write actions over here. That is static. You will get your action name that you have given. So if you see the name that I've given over here, I can see it. And here all your JSON schema fields will be available. So mine is going to be first name. In the similar way, if you see in all of them, I have added last name. Here it is email. Here it is expense type, amount, and this. Now, how am I displaying the document? So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm going to upload my file in storage buckets in my Studio Web process. But then I have to fetch that and display it in my UiPath app as well. So on the page load, if you see I've selected main page, go to events, edit route. Here I am downloading file from storage buckets. So storage bucket again is expense file. Here I am fetching the value actions.reimbursement system dot file name, and then I'm assigning it to an app variable, that is expense screenshot. The app variable type is app file. So if I will just try and edit this, it is of app files. So on page load, what it will do is it will fetch that file from storage buckets, and then what I have to do is just map over there. So if you see here, I have just specified the variable that okay, this is the expense screenshot variable, display whatever is there over here. So these are the first 5 steps that you need to do to create an action app. Let me reiterate through that if you have got confused or there's anything that you are missing. The first is creating the action JSON schema, where you will identify what are your inputs and outputs. All right. Second is creating a VB app. All right. If you already have an app, just import it. The third is adding the action. From here, you can see we have an option to add the action. The fourth is creating and adding the storage buckets. After that, the fifth is create your complete app, map the data using the syntax that we are seeing, that is actions dot action name dot your field name. So that is what is going to be, and it is available in the documentation as well. So if I just go, preferred action name dot action parameter name. So this is the syntax over here, and you can get it from the forum post. All the documentations are available. So this is what you have to do. Now, once these first 5 steps are completed, there is one final thing that you need to work on in your UiPath app, and then we will move to creating the Studio Web process. I have added 2 buttons over here. Take actions, that is approve, and the other is reject. In events, you have to create submit action. If you want to, so you have to click on this plus. Here, if you scroll down, you will see a control that is submit action. You have to create that submit action. The JSON schema is going to be by default loaded. If you want to override some input, it is fine. Action outcome, there are going to be only 2, approve or reject. So that is what you have to configure for your buttons. One, on approve, it is going to be approve. On reject, it is going to be reject. So if I click over here, submit action and reject. So you will see the reject button over here. So this is what you have to do. One final thing in your app, and your action app is completely ready. Now you just have to create your UiPath Studio Web process and use this action app over there. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment sections. I know this feature is new and there are many configurations that we are doing here and there, but it's pretty straightforward. Like, it took me little time to learn as well, but then I'm going to create this video as the most simplified version of creating UiPath action app. All right, so You have added this. Now you just need to publish. Okay, so if you are someone who have already worked on enterprise level UiPath apps deployment use case, you know after publishing we deploy the app as well. But here you don't have to do anything as such. So if you have someone who is already been working on UiPath apps, right? We don't have to deploy the app. And to people who have not worked on it, so after like we publish the package in Studio, right? We will deploy it in Orchestrator. Similar way, we deploy the app as well. But here, you don't do anything as such. Here, you just publish the app. So you click on the publish button. It will ask you for any other details if there are you want to give, and click on publish. After that, you will see a pop-up message that okay, this has been published. That's it. After that, you do nothing. Now comes the important part. All right. So okay. Now, if you see in UiPath Studio Web, right, there is this autopilot feature as well available. I tried this as well. Let me try live during while I'm recording the call. So if you see, my project is already created over here, reimbursement system. But let me just try and do this thing. Read emails from a Gmail account and download the attachments in the email and upload the attachments to storage bucket, right? So first we used to traditionally do the development. Then there was a concept that you can use these templates and then you can, the in UiPath Studio as well, there are many different templates and all that we can use. After that, this is something more that UiPath is bringing with AI integration, that there is an autopilot feature available, right? So let me just try and click on generate and see what is happening. So you describe your automation. If you see this is still in preview, so if we don't get the accurate results as well, there are more updates going to come in this. So let's see if our automation is getting ready or not. So if you see here, already there is a preview. When new email arrives in Gmail, for each attachments, download, upload email attachments to storage buckets. If you click on continue to studio, the workflow will always already be built, right? So this is something really awesome. And in my automation that I have built and right now that I'm going to show as the demo, I had used the same feature. So it is creating my workflow. Now you have to do the configuration. So if you see when an email, the trigger is an email based trigger. So if I click over here, change trigger, you can change it if you want to use Outlook or something else. But yeah, for each attachment, download attachment, upload to storage buckets. Now it has by default considered, Amazon Web Services of UiPath storage bucket. If you specify upload it to cloud storage only of UiPath Orchestrator, it will put that thing over there. So this is how you can use the amazing autopilot feature. But you can click on new project and you can create the project as well. I'm not going to do that now. Let me go to my reimbursement system. Oops. So I've already created this. Now again, you see my trigger is as well like when an email is received in Gmail. All right. So yeah, email received, here is the connections that I'm providing, inbox, and here I've given a condition that email received from this particular email, right? So if you have a company domain, you can add that if email received from this company domain with this particular subject, then only read that particular or trigger the automations. Downloading the attachment. So you see exclude inlet attachments false, and here I'm saving that particular variable. So again, this is similar to UiPath Studio, right? There is nothing different happening over here. It's just that this is on cloud. Okay. So downloading the attachments, email attachments, upload to storage file. If you click on this plus, you will see that upload to storage file. You have this control. Just click on that and you have to provide the bucket name, attachments, and where to upload. Where to upload, basically you have to give your file name. So what I'm doing over here is my email attachments. Now I'm not putting any loop because this is just for demo purpose, and I know that I'm going to always send an attachment to that, right? So I'm just directly uploading storage file, email attachments, zero. I'm giving the first attachment and then the full name over here. There are some additional options, but I don't want to configure. After that, you have to search for a control, create app task. So if you see here, there are two, create app task and wait for app task. So we have to use both of these, create the app task, the return task object, etc. to be used in pair mode with create app task. So these are the two activities that we are going to use. Once you drag that activity, you will see this create app task, reimbursement, the priority is medium, you can keep anything, app. So here you in this drop down, you any action app that you have published. So if I go over here in action apps, this will be published over here. You will see the apps over here. Once you have published app, you have to select that, and all these below things will be loaded automatically. So the schema is reimbursement system, it will automatically take that. Then these are all the fields. If you see description, email, expense amount, expense type, file name, first name, last name. The required ones are with the asterisk mark, right? So all this data is available over here. Okay, now what you have to do is, now what I'm doing in this email, I have to extract all these data. So I'm just going to simply use regex without any complications. So over here, open in expression editor. Now this expression is also what I've generated using autopilot, right? So let me just cut this and I'm going to describe my expression over here. I want to extract the data after name in my input string using regex. As simple as that. Now, no need to go to ChatGPT or some other application, right? You can just create and generate the expression over here. Now it says this is an invalid expression because this particular variable is not created. If I just do this, you see the expression is valid, and you can itself test it over here. So when I was learning this, right, when I was learning how to build an action app or learning about this feature, the Studio Web things that I've learned, I found it very interesting. Like I really loved all these updates that are there of autopilot. This is just awesome, right? So now I'm going to paste my this expression again and click on save. So no need to go to chat gpt or anything, just simply use this awesome autopilot feature, right? So similarly, I've created all the things over here in file name. I'm just passing the file name that will be in my storage bucket, right? And all this reason, then you have to use wait for task and resume. You have to pass the created app task. So here the output is the created app task. You have to pass this as input, and this will give you the output of action taken and task object output. Let's suppose you want to later create some entry in Expensify, or maybe send it to your accounts department or anything as such, then you will get this JSON output, that is task object output. You can use that. It is same to what has been in the traditional UiPath Action Center as well. So nothing has been changed over there. Then I'm writing that what action was taken. An action taken is basically the approve or reject value that it will give. After that, I'm using an if condition. Action taken equal to approve, then send an email that explains came request approved. Hi, again, I'm putting the expression over here. And here also you have rich text composer. Again, one of the very amazing feature that we have in UiPath Studio Web. You can create rich text emails to bold and all that. Now, no need to create that HTML strings, right? So everyone who has worked on UiPath Studio, we create that HTML string, use that bold tags and all that. Nothing to do over here. You can just directly do this. And in else, what I've done is I've sent an email, explains claim request rejected. This, done. That's it. Now, once you have done this, you have to publish this and you can schedule it, or this is the trigger automation, right? So it will work on the trigger, but I'm not going to make this completely unattended now since we are having all these steps. I'm going to send this email again. Okay, so let me just copy this. new email. I'm going to send it to my other email ID. Expense. I'm going to write travel expense claim. Paste it over here. Ups, Uber receipt and this. Okay. And I'm going to click on send. Once that email is received, it will not auto trigger, but I'm going to run it myself since I want to show the demo and everything. So yeah, let me just see if the email is received or not. Okay, I have received the email as you can see over here. Now I'm going to click on test. We have the conditions and everything. So in normal scenario, this will be a trigger based automation. Email is received, it will check the conditions and it will start executing. So if you see, the execution has started, run successfully, and the task is already created in UiPath Action Center. And this is like, I'm just, enjoying building this, and it is amazing. Once you do that, it will be in unassigned. And what you can do is, like, we will talk about what additions can be done. So yeah, we'll come to that. And now if you see over here, the action app that we just created is completely available over here with all the details that I've filled in, traveling to Mumbai airport to catch a flight for Bangalore, and the action is created now using UiPath apps for Action Center. So we have successful in the last 20-25 minutes. I don't know how long the video has been, but we have created a UiPath Action app for employee reimbursement system. Now, once you click on this approve button over here, submit the action. In the normal scenario, the task will automatically resume, but here I'm going to click on the resume button on my own. And if you see here, it is logging approved, the execution has ended. And let me see. So if you see, hi Parth, your expense claim has been approved. Note this is an auto-generated email. Please do not reply. Regards, HR team. And along with the attachment. So the Gmail configuration is pretty straightforward. You just have to use the activity, pass in all the details, give the attachment similar to what we got in the input. So this is how you can create your UiPath action app. And we saw this complete release, like we saw this complete update right from scratch, what you have to do for creating the action schema, publishing it in UiPath Action Center. That is what we saw over here in action definition. Then we created a VB app. We linked the action to that. We linked the storage buckets to that. We created the app. After that, we linked all the elements that we have, all the fields that we have in our app. And finally, we published the app. Once we have published, we did not deploy. We came to UiPath Studio Web and we explored the two most amazing things over there. That is the autopilot feature for creating the expressions and for creating the project as well. Right. So after that, what we have done is we have created this complete process where we are receiving the email, downloading the attachments, uploading it to storage files, and doing all the other things that we have to create that process. Then we sent a dummy email, a test email, and here upon the execution, we saw that our action was successfully created with all the values within that, and we can click on approve and reject button. So yeah, this is how you can create your own UiPath action. And I want you guys to, explore this particular feature and just build as many use cases as you can. If there are any questions that you have, please feel free to put them in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to create more videos on this use case or any new feature of UiPath app that you want to learn about, specifically UiPath app, because since I'm an MVP for that. But if there is anything else as well, please feel free to put that in the comment section. Thank you for watching this complete video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and you learned about this feature completely. Again, if any questions, feel free to put that in the comment section, and see you soon in the next video. And I'm hoping that I record the next video soon. So thank you so much. Please do share this video within your organization, with your colleagues, to your friends and or LinkedIn, so that everyone can learn about this awesome feature of UiPath apps. Thank you.